ClearWater Coalition and the group and everyone here for having me and being able to speak about what's going on with the Forest Service. My name is Suzanne Schindler, and I'm the acting district ranger at the McKenzie Ranger District, and I'll be doing that job until the end of June, and then we're going to have another acting ranger, Trish Wilson, who is also out of the headquarters of the Willamette Forest out of Eugene. And you know, it's unfortunate in that we have still been on a hiring freeze, and we don't see hiring a permanent ranger till maybe fall, winter. You know, we're gonna, you know, we have a lot of transition going on right now with that hiring freeze. So Tyson Cross was supposed to be here to help me with the recreation, but he was unable to come. He had an injury today. So if you know him in the community, he works tirelessly on trails and wilderness. And I will continue with his portion of the slideshow. So I just want to let you know we are going to be open starting on Memorial Day weekend. We're going to be open on Saturdays through Labor Day. So we'll be open 8 to 4:30. Yes. So we'll be available for all your needs and information updates and just, you know, to get firewood permits. We do over 400 a year. And also we do a lot of permits for bear grass, mushrooms, and other forest projects, as well as outfitters and guides. And so we're happy to do that. So I want to talk about our first project. We actually finished this project last year in 2016, and it's the Deer Creek Floodplain Enhancement Project. It's at the lower portion of Deer Creek where it enters into the McKenzie River. And the project was 35 acres. The purpose was to restore ecological function for ESA-listed species like spring chinook and bull trout. And what we did, as you can see on the pre-project, it was a pretty linear creek running through, and we added wood in the post-project, and we created a floodplain where fish could, you know, have pools and have spawning gravels and increase their production. Okay, so here's another project, the South Fork Floodplain Enhancement Project. So it's similar to Deer Creek, where it's, you know, we're building back our floodplain, but we are the beginning planning phases. And so we just started that, and you can see from this location, it's near, that's Delta Campground there, there's Highway 126, and over here is the dam. So it's a large project. It's 700 acres, and it's the same purpose to restore aquatic and terrestrial communities, including threatened and endangered species, again, chinook and bull trout. And what we're going to do is alter, again, it has this, you know, from the dam, they have this sort of fast-flowing channel right here, and what we're going to do is add wood back into the stream to slow down the water, and then we're also going to move around levees and riprap and fill to provide pools and gravels and more habitat for fish and pond turtles and other aquatic organisms. So it's a big project. And we're, like I say, we're in the environmental analysis portion of it. It's going to be in 2 phases. We're going to work this first one first, and we hope to finish the environmental analysis this coming winter, and then start maybe 2018 or 19, and finish the second phase over here in 2020 or 21. Okay, here's another project we have, and this is actually in the end of the environmental analysis phase, prescribed fire in the wilderness. And this is actually the Washington Wilderness. Here's 242, and here is Scott Mountain and Mount Washington. We have a fire that we had, the Scott Mountain fire, a couple years ago. And so what the plan here is to reduce fuel loadings in this portion of the wilderness, which is about 1,700 acres. And we're going to use a helicopter and a helitorch, and it's going to be spots where you're going to have unburned and burned portions. And the planning is to implement this coming fall, and we're not going to do it unless, you know, we have a season-ending event like a large storm or snow. So we've also been consulting with the Weather Service and smoke management to make sure that we burn when it's appropriate. We don't affect too many people. Okay, we have quite a few timber sale environmental analysis going on. We have two that are in the end of their phase, the Green Mountain EIS and Langdam EA. So this picture here is on our Willamette National Forest website. So if you want more information, it's all on our website, and it's all available on what we plan to do, and the environmental analysis are all posted on our website. So this is these two projects are towards the end of our environmental analysis, and we have two new ones that we're starting called Flat Country and Quartz Creek. Okay, Tamolitch Pool, or Blue Pool. You've probably heard quite a bit about that. It does look beautiful. It does sort of think that you want to go swimming, but you better not go swimming without a wetsuit because it is cold. It's 40 degrees, but it's very popular. So it's, oops, squid. Okay, so there is 126, and Blue Pool is off the McKenzie River Trail in here. And you go on the exit for, Trail Bridge exit, and you go to the Trail Bridge trailhead. And it's a moderate hike, so it'd be kind of surprising. You see, it's kind of flat, but it does have a lot of lava in there, and it's easy to twist your ankle. So you really should have water too. It's kind of surprising. It's a good hike, and I did it last week, and there were quite a few people in there already. So it has exploded. I mean, when, you know, it's always been a gem, but now it is, you know, it is really popular. It's amazing how many people we get there visiting now. The use has really outpaced our management for parking, trails, and toilets. We just can't keep up. Last year we counted over 30,000 people for the year hiking into there. We average 128 people per day. And our peak last year, July 23rd, was 1,000 people. It's really amazing. I mean, it's lovely, but it's hardly a hidden gem anymore. So one of the things we've had to do, I don't know if you've been out there, but we have a restriction now. At some of these peak days, they would park on both sides, down the road, next to EWEB, out almost, you know, over into Highway 126. It was just, you could hardly get in there. So we had to restrict parking on one side so we can get emergency vehicles in there. 2 weeks ago, we had somebody go down one of those cliffs and they fell and hit their head. And, you know, we can't get in if all this is full up. So, you know, we have some plans to make that better, but it's going to take a little time and a bit of money. So there's an example. I mean, it's, you know, if you've been to Blue Pool, you know it's really pretty much surrounded by cliffs. So these folks down here have had to climb this cliff here. I mean, that's probably 60 degrees slope down in here. And you do notice they're not swimming. It is cold. And, you know, they've had some divers in there, you know, those GoPro sticks, you know, where they're at the bottom there. People go in there, jump in there, and they drop everything. It's, I mean, it's beautiful, but it is cold. So phase one of some of the work to improve that area, we've got the Northwest Youth Corps in there now. They were there last week, and they're rebuilding the tread. You know, with all those people in there, the tread is really, it really needed some work. So we have people in there working on it now. So we have 3 phases. Right now we also have porta potties. We have like 5 out there. We're going to be building a restroom that's coming this month or next month. And we're updating the kiosk. And the phase 2 is to replace bridges. And then also we're going to do a bypass to trail. You know, our McKenzie River Trail is multiple use, so it's hikers, but it's also mountain bikers. So we're going to do a bypass so that, you know, we don't have those kind of confrontations. Usually it goes pretty well, but we do have problems, so that's one of our fixes. And then phase 3 is to increase the parking lot, but that's going to take a bit of time. We have to do environmental analysis to get this bigger, and it's going to cost a bit of money. So other recreation updates, the McKenzie River Trail at Lost Creek, we're going to replace the bridge, and we're going to do that in June and take a couple weeks. But most of the trail is still going to be available. 22 miles north of Lost Creek is going to be available to hike, and below it. And so we'll have notices out in the community of when that's happening. You can always call the front desk at the office at McKenzie Bridge and find out if, you know, you're going to be using the whole trail, or if you know somebody is. And then just to let you know, we've replaced all our winter recreation signs in the Sandy Ann Pass area, and that should be really nice for your use next winter. So what I wanted to say is that if you want more in-depth information about these projects, we're going to have 2 open houses coming where you can ask the technical experts on these projects, or the project managers. The first one's going to be at the end of this month, May 31st, at the Ranger Station from 1 to 4:30. And the second one is going to be June 8th at Walterville Firehouse from 3 to 6. And that's it.